ever hear the tragedy of
The thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayers.
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend.
The thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayers was a book catalyst.
So powerful and so wise, he could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians
To take.
life.
Hey, what's going on, gamers? It's the Chronic Gamer here, and I'm actually back with another video for you guys. And I just have one question: have you heard of the thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayer? Because my God, this is probably my favorite weapon right now in Genshin Impact. And I know it's not a 4-star or a 5-star, but it's just, its utility is just so good that it's kind of hard to find a replacement, even though it's just a blue. So yes, because it's a blue, you're going to get less attack and less HP percentage. But if you're using this on, for instance, a healer like Barbara, where you only want to switch to when you want to, press E to activate your heal and then switch back to your carry, or if you want to just switch to an alt and then switch back to your carry, this is the perfect weapon for her because you don't really care about attack, and there's HP scaling. Of course, there's not as much scaling as, say, the prototype Malice. At level 60, it has a 30.4% HP scaling. And you will lose out on a little bit of healing, and the gilding passive isn't that bad. So I would recommend leveling up prototype Malice as well if you want to equip Barbara with it. But the thing with the thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayer is that it's so good for how little you need to invest in it. Like, you could have a level 1 book and it will still be really, really good as long as you get it to refinement rank 5, which isn't that hard because it's a blue drop. So you're going to get 90% of your drops, 95% of your drops, I should say, are going to be blue drops. So it's actually quite easy to get these thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayers up to refinement rank 5. So before you disenchant all your blue items, make sure you read a couple of them, because you might find something like the thrilling tales of the Dragon Slayers, which is hard to replace. And basically, the passive right here is what makes it really good. When switching to a character, switching two characters, the new character taken to the field has their attack increased by 48% for 10 seconds. This is huge. Like, this is absolutely insane. So let's just quickly show you an example. So my Kaching right now has 1,869 attack. Alright, let's switch to my Barbara, pop the heal, and then I switch back to my Kaching to DPS. My attack went up to 2,221. Almost 400 attack from what could be a level 1 blue book on your healer. So this is something to consider if you are doing Spiral Abyss and you're surviving, but you're not doing enough damage to run out the clock, right? If the clock runs out on you, then nothing's going to really help you, right? So if you need that little bit extra damage, the Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer level 1 can get you there just fine. I leveled mine up to 20. You don't need to do that. I didn't enhance it or anything. If I had a lot more resources to work with, I might consider leveling it up to 60 just to be on par with my prototype Malice. But then again, it's good because it gives you the HP scaling, but it's never going to be as good as the prototype Malice when it comes to strictly being able to heal your party, because Barbara scales off HP and the prototype Malice gives you more HP because it's a purple versus a blue. However, Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer is going to give you that huge boost to attack that you just can't get from the prototype Malice. So But don't count out the prototype malice, because you will get more healing, which is really good, and you regenerate energy for your party, right? Party members. So 4.5 energy every 2 seconds at refinement rank 6, right? So that's like 13.5 energy over 6 seconds. And all party members will regenerate an additional 4.5% HP. So 13.5 over those 6 seconds, right? So you get more healing, you get more energy, you get more base HP as well. However, if you need strictly attack, the Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayers got you covered. And I'm starting to use this weapon more than the Prototype Malice right now, because of just how much I value attack over all these other things. In the Spiral Abyss, you might switch over the Prototype Malice if you're having trouble surviving and you need a little bit more healing to keep it going on your Barbara. But if you're fine for healing, your Barbara heals a crap ton, even if your weapon isn't giving you that much, because she's just such a beast when it comes to healing. So she will heal no matter what. And if you have the right artifacts, maybe you have too much healing, and you can supplement that by throwing in this book and just getting extra attack out of it for your DPS. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to test how effective this book is in actually increasing your damage. Alright, gamers, so I found some Hilitrolls over there. Is that guy on fire? I think he's standing on like a fireplace or something. He's just taking 2 damage constantly. Okay then, weird. Anyways, we found these Hilitrolls. That guy's still taking damage. Okay. So we found some Hilitrolls over here, so we can do the test. As we can see, 1869 attack. So this is going to be just attacking without the book right now. Alright. Obviously, it also depends on the defense, on how good it's going to be. So 801 not crit. Crit 1563. Okay. And now we're going to test Barbara. Oh no, I need a heal. I'm going to switch to Kaching. Now I have 2221 attack. Alright, let's see. Okay. 952 not crit. 1857 crit. So I think that's around 150 damage. Around 150 damage when you don't crit, and an extra 300 damage when you crit against Hilitrolls. Obviously, it depends on the enemy. Some enemies have more or less defense, so you might get a little bit more damage versus some other enemies. This is world level 5, so these are the world level 5 Hilitrolls. But pretty good, honestly. Extra 150 to 300 damage per auto can actually do quite a bit. Obviously, the more base attack you have, the more attack you're going to gain from the book. So, it honestly, the more value you get from it, it depends on your build, right? If you're critting, you're going to get 300 attack. If you're not critting, you're only getting 150 extra damage. It also depends on your talents, right? So, I have a level 6 normal attack talent for Kaching. So, I'm taking 60% of my attack, right? So, that extra 400-ish attack, 60% of that is giving me around 150 damage because they have defense, which is reducing it even further, right? So although it's like 60% of my attack, it's probably closer to 40% of my attack, something like that. I'm not... Fuck math, man. I'm just estimating here. Don't quote me on these because... Hell, man, I hate math, but anyways... Right? So, their defense comes into play. Obviously, your attack scaling is going to come into play here. So, if you have better talents, the attack increase is going to matter more. Right? If you have... if you're fighting enemies with less defense, your attack scaling is going to matter more as well. If you have higher base attack, it's going to matter even more, right? So, this base attack's 449, right? Let's check my Kaching out right here. As you can see, I have 734 base attack on my Kaching. So I'm only getting 48% of that. I can actually take out my calculator right here. All right, so we got 734 times 0.48 because we get 48%. So we're getting about 352 attack every time we switch, right? So the higher basic attack you have, the more attack you're going to get. So if you're using something like a Claymore user, Claymores usually attack slower, but they have a higher base attack. You're going to get more attack off the 48%. So it can be very useful, very powerful. However, something you have to be aware of is when you are looking at this book, Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayers, when you read the passive, you need to make sure that you are making sure that you're applying it properly, right? So when switching characters, the new character taking to the field has an attack increased by 48% for 10 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 20 seconds. So on average, you're actually only going to get 24% increased attack if you play perfectly. If every 20 seconds you switch to your Barbara and then you switch back in order to get it perfectly applied half of the time. Now, obviously, you're probably not going to be perfect. If you try really hard, I'd say it's probably relatively easy to get a 20% increased attack on your carry for the whole time, right? On average, to increase your attack by 20%. That's still pretty good. If you look at elemental synergies, you'll see that Fire Elemental Synergy, which is, in my opinion, one of the best synergies in the game, increases your attack by 25%. So if you're perfect with your Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer, it's basically a free elemental synergy on your DPS, which is what matters the most, right? With the 24%, if you're perfect, even just having on average an extra 20% can be very effective. Or if you need to burst down a boss really quickly, the extra 10 seconds of 48% attack is just going to be really, really nice on your DPS. So don't count out the Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer. It is my favorite Catalyst book right now. It is so good. It has so much value for what you're paying, what you're investing, that it's just insane. Honestly, this is probably the best book. Even if you're just on average increasing your attack by 20%, that's still a crap ton. Because you have to imagine that if you're critting, right, like on my Kashing right here, 50% of the time to get a 95% damage increase, even though I'm increasing my attack by 400 and I'm getting about 150-ish extra damage, 49.3% of the time, I'm getting around 300-ish damage. Extra damage per auto attack that I crit, right? So this damage is going to add up on someone that attacks super fast, like a Ching, who's a sword wielder. Someone like Venti, who attacks really fast. If you build him DPS, I wouldn't recommend it because he's a god tier support. If you have Venti, right? Could be very, very useful. If you have really good artifacts on Barbara, amazing. If you have too much healing, just go ahead and equip the Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayer, right? I find that I'm constantly, whenever I press my E, especially when I use my Q, almost all my characters just go straight to being full health, right? So I find that I'm usually over healing my characters more than not. So losing a little bit of healing, it's not really gonna hurt me in any way because my Barbara just heals so much that I don't really need more healing. So for me personally, the extra attack is actually useful because my Barbara already heals like a truck, so don't need any extra healing. All right, thank you guys for sticking all the way to the end of this video. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe, because I'm a new YouTuber and any support that I can get is much appreciated. Any feedback, again, is very much appreciated. I hope you like this video. I got my face cam working now. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better. I threw in that edit at the beginning and intro because I thought it was pretty funny. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Chronic Gamer out. I'll see you in my next video.